وياك.
My question is regarding autism.
Autism. Okay.
As you know, most doctors they tell you it's a lifelong illnesses.
Yeah.
So from Islamic point,
Yeah.
we know ruqya it covers inshallah.
Okay. Yes.
But I want to know from the people Nabi sallallahu
Alayhi
alaihi
salatu
wasallam,
wasalam.
any medicine that you recommend, and also is autism part of jinn or possession, or is it just something?
جزاك الله خير إن شاء الله تعالى. Okay, let us say something. Though we say Quran is shifa, but some of the cases, it is obvious, neither ruqya, neither Quran, okay? You can neither ask Allah Azza wa Jal for cure for that. Somebody comes to you, okay, with, subhanallah, yani, I don't know, like, his feet is cut, okay? He doesn't have a feet. Okay, leg. Okay, in war. Okay, in, whatever it is, the case. He come to somebody, say, okay, can Sheikh do ruqya for us, inshallah ta'ala, so that at least we can, it can be replaced, or maybe my leg start grows. You say, no, this is obvious, isn't it? No. Okay? Somebody has, for example, kidney failure. We say, inshallah ta'ala, make dua. Okay, there is nothing which is difficult upon Allah Azza wa Jal. La mustahil. There is nothing called impossible with Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is able. And this is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَإِذَا شَاءَ, whenever He wants, something to happen, all what you'd say is just be, and it will be, isn't it? Kun, fayakun. That's it. There is nothing which is impossible upon Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's why He gave you all these amazing stories, okay, in the Quran about, the performance of ruqya by Isa alayhi salam. Isa was raqi. He used to perform ruqya. You know what does ruqya mean? By the way, do we all of us know what does ruqya mean? The whole lecture now is based on ruqya, and isn't it? Do you know what does ruqya mean? How many of you know? It's one of the two. Either all of you know, or all of you don't know. So, you know what does ruqya mean? You don't know. You don't want to know. Okay, that's one. Ruqya came from ruqi, climbing up. Okay? So the raqi, what does he do? He lifts the spirit and the expectation of the person that he do ruqya for. Okay? So it is not recommended for somebody to come and just put his hand and do ruqya for you before he prepare you spiritually. Qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal. So your expectation goes high. From whom? From whom? Expectation from whom? Yourself or Allah Azza wa Jal, isn't it? So you'd expect Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to us, and it's very important, okay? When you go to visit somebody who's ill, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Wallahi, by Allah, there is no one who is ill, afflicted with problems and illness, and get visited by 10 people. 10 people. Only 10. Let alone that, subhanAllah, if you are ill in the hospital, how many? Your friends, your families, your extended families, and your, I don't know, everybody comes in. And everybody, subhanAllah, really think of bringing you all kind of sweets and bananas and, fruits and juice, isn't it? Flowers in our days is going very well in our days. Very well, mashallah, tabarak. We're becoming like exactly the way how Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Wallahi la tattaba'unna sunana man kana qablakum, حذو القدة بالقدة. Okay? حتى لو دخلوا جحر ضب لا دخلتموه. He said, subhanAllah, you will follow the steps of those who are before you, the Christians and the Jew. Okay? Step by step. Even if they enter into a home, you will enter. Now go to the graveyards. I assume that most of you, mashallah, tabarakallah, regularly go there, isn't it? To remind yourself, mashallah. Okay? And I will leave it there, assuming. Okay, what do you see? To mom, dad, lovely dad. That's it, that's maximum. Do you see somebody doing dua? No. Wallahi, by Allah, if they spend this money, which they buy flour with, in sadaqah jariyah, give it to a masjid, to madrasa, they will benefit their family more. Okay, isn't it? Okay, but we are not doing what, subhanAllah, the sunnah encourages. Anyway, Rasulullah says to us, if you visit, or if an ill person, okay, get visited by 10 people, who would put their hand on his front head and say, Bismillah, Allahumma Rabbun Nas, Adhib al-Bas, Ishfi anta al-Shaf, La shifa illa shifa, Shifa'un la yuqadiru saqab. Except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the medicine, not the hospital, okay, not the suffocated machines and, subhanAllah, which is around the patient, okay, not the technologies that this hospital is known with, not the experience of the expertise, okay, or the experience of the staff in that hospital. No, Allah, Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? Because He is the curer and He is the bestower of shifa and remedy, isn't He? Yes. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, by Allah, if that wasn't the illness which is meant to take his soul, means like this is the illness of death. That's it. This is the introduction of death. If it wasn't, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bestow full shifa and recovery to this person. But what are we? Okay? To what extent do we believe on this and we practice this? So that's why, in order for you to lift, okay, the expectation of the person who is afflicted, you remind him about Allah Azza wa Jal, and so on and so forth. And then when this Quran is recited upon him or upon her, then it benefits. Why does it benefit? Because they were aiming, inshallah ta'ala, to have the remedy and cure from Allah Azza wa Jal after this, subhanAllah, inspiring, okay, advice that they got from the person who performed the ruqyah. Okay? So number one, sometimes we need to learn something. It's not that important, okay? Or it's not necessarily that every illness, though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, made it obvious that there is no incurable disease, but sometimes it is based and subjected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wisdom, hikmah. Maybe for you, or your mother, or your father, or your son, or your brother, for example, it is not necessary that they have to be cured. And there is benefit that they remain the way how they are. So as a Muslims, sometimes we have to accept coexisting, okay, with the illness that we have. Okay? Ta'aish. We, accept this. Okay? So you don't have to really, miss the objective of that ibtila from Allah Azza wa Jalla and test. And you would never even concentrate in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted for you at that moment, because you are busy, okay, trying to find a cure, and it became years and years and years and years, to the extent that you've missed the importance of ruqyah, and why is it, and the objectives of the ruqyah, okay, and you are only concentrating in, okay, what human being can give you. Okay, I've been to that brother, but he's, subhanAllah, okay, I've been to that hospital, but, subhanAllah, now I'm looking. As those are the ones who give, cure. And people sometimes they say, Ya akhi, wallahi, there is so-and-so who is, mashallah, very good, and so-and-so is not good. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the curer. Allah Azza wa Jal is the bestower of mercy and cure and remedy. Okay? We are going here and there, whether hospital, doctors, specialists, and so, for reasons and means. Okay? But we should not miss the, the point to that extent that this affects our tawheed, our dependence on Allah Azza wa Jal. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam did ruqyah, but some of the companions have died. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam instructed some of the companions for medicines. They didn't